All right, here on the Pepper Stewart Show, we're talking with Eric Nelsen. You may have seen him recently on 1883. He played Ennis, but that's not all he's done. He's an Emmy award-winning actor, producer, and he's here with us. So what is going on today, Eric?
Well, hey, Pepper, good to be here. I appreciate you having me. And, just trying to avoid this freeze we're currently going through here in Fort Worth.
Oh, no, and I guess it's I think did you grow up down south like in Florida, but then you've been in L.A. for a while?
Yes, sir. So originally from South Florida, and then I actually moved to Manhattan when I was 13 years old, and I started working as an actor there throughout middle school and high school. And I lived in New York for about 11 years, and then met my wife, and we moved out to L.A. together, where we lived for about 5 years, and now been in Fort Worth for about a year and a half. So it's been making my way around the country, but man, have I fallen in love with being in Texas.
Well, what's for you being in both places? What's the biggest, I guess, difference you've noticed, from New York or from LA and being there in Fort Worth?
Well, I mean, first of all, we now have 2 kids. I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old, and my wife is from Fort Worth, and so she's got a really big family, amazing family down here. And, that's something that we missed in L.A. and New York, kind of the deep-rooted family lifestyle and, the history and, kind of the generational, family styles that are rooted down here. That's what kind of, rings, most dear to my heart is kind of being around those types of people. And, in L.A. and New York, we're fighting for our careers, fighting for our jobs, but don't have a lot of family life around. So, you really miss that aspect. At least we did. So being here and being around the people of Fort Worth, and it's been incredible. And what a beautiful place to be able to raise a family.
Now, with your work on 1883, riding horses, doing cowboy stuff, what experience did you have, with horses and ranch stuff prior to 1883?
Yeah, so I actually, my dad was a thoroughbred polo horse trainer most of his life. My grandfather trained reining horses, and my mom showed. So I had grown up in the culture and around horses, and we owned them even in Florida. So it wasn't foreign to me. I hadn't had much ranch hand work experience. Never worked cattle before, so that was all new. And prior to filming starting, Taylor Sheridan sent us to a cowboy camp, day in and day out. I got to be there for 3 weeks. Was working horses, working cattle. We were roping, we were shooting guns, basically learning everything there was to know to be the cowboys that you see on screen. So that was a blessing to get that experience. And I'd had some horse experience, but I was lacking in all the other areas. So I was able to kind of raise the bar on myself a little bit and kind of get some experiences and skills that otherwise wouldn't have had. So very appreciative to have had that time before filming started. And, I'm continuing doing it to this day because I fell so in love with it.
Now, starting on 1883, going through scripts, reading scripts and getting things going, did you have any idea the following that your character was going to have, and then, being killed off and the big letdown of all the 1883 fans like, wait, what happened? What's going on?
Honestly, no. I read the script, and the most incredible part about Taylor Sheridan's writing is I knew that if I just said the words that are on the page, everything else would play out because the writing is so specific and so incredible, and you really bring stuff to life off the page before you even say the lines. And so I knew as long as I was able to get the words out of my mouth that it would at least resonate with people just because of the way it was written. And I also saw Ennis kind of as this kind of little golden ticket and opportunity to play a character that almost kind of goes against the grain of the show a little bit to make him stand out a little bit more. He's kind of the more light-hearted character, and, when he came on screen, I was hoping it would make people smile or maybe chuckle a little bit. So if I focused on kind of being almost the opposite of the tone of the show, hopefully, it would ring true, but it would also stand out a little bit on its own. And seeing the reaction of the audience and all the fans, I was like, wow, I guess it worked because it's just the reaction's been incredible, and everybody kind of jumped right in and held Ennis close to their heart, and of course the Ennis Elsa storyline, people were rooting for them, and it was just more than I ever could have imagined, but the most fun I've ever had working on a project. So very grateful for the opportunity, and especially grateful for the reaction that it got from the fans and the world.
What has it been like for you now that you're off the show, but you're still doing promotion for the show, going to Fort Worth and hitting all these the different talk shows and different media things, and kind of the media requests, the media response to the show? How is that compared to the other shows and things you've worked with?
I think it's extra special because we're telling a story in the town and cities that the story takes place in, right? So our story in 1983 begins in Fort Worth, in the stockyards, and that's where we shot it. And so it just brings that much more specialness to it, because oftentimes we're filming TV shows and movies, and we're in the back of some studio lot in some Hollywood studios, pretending like we're in Texas, or pretending like we're where we're supposed to be filming this thing, but we actually got to film it on the exact grounds where this story took place all those years ago. And so just that element alone made it that much more unique and special. And so I think a lot of Texas press and a lot of the press around town really, really jumped onto it because, it's a story about home being filmed and shot in the home state and towns where it took place. So we couldn't have asked for anything more than that. And that's another gift that Taylor gave us actors. He's really about authenticity to the max. And so he didn't want us pretending like we were trotting through the streets of a town where we're supposed to be taking place. He wanted us to feel and know that we were there. And so even the energy and, you kind of tap into the world around you in such a specific and unique way. That I think that's why everybody jumped at the opportunity to talk about it, and the press outlets here, and it's such an exciting time to shed light on the deeply rooted history that Texas and Fort Worth and the surrounding cities have to offer.
What do you find yourself doing when you get the opportunity to have a little downtime, kind of kick back and relax?
There's, really enjoying just those moments at home with the kids. As I said, I've got a 2-year-old now, so she's, Mrs. Personality Plus at the moment, and it's been so fun seeing her blossom into the person she is. And, my 4-month baby at home, his name is Mick. He's getting to be a little wisecracker now too, and so it's just really those moments at home together as a family. But when we're going out on the town in Fort Worth and stuff, we've got lots of friends over at Joe T. Garcia, so we enjoy having meals over there, and there's just so much that the city and town have to offer. We love going to Bass Hall and seeing all the shows over there, and even Casa Mañana's got great theater that we enjoy going to see, and so we're very involved in the theater and arts world here, and everybody's really been taking care of us, and I feel very at home and very, very fortunate to be in a town like Fort Worth.
Is there a movie role or a character out there that you would like to play?
Great question. I mean, there are so many. I will say 1883 was my first Western, and since having done it, if I did Westerns for the rest of my career, I'd be a happy guy. I truly had so much fun and completely fell in love with, the history and everything that goes behind the project. So I'd be happy setting sail doing Westerns if the opportunities arose. And that, I'd say that without hesitation. You getting surrounded by the horses and, getting to throw on the chaps and the hat and the spurs, and it makes it for too much fun. The little boy inside me that always wanted to be a cowboy when he was younger, and he watched them on the movies. Every day I came to set, he was jumping and screaming, and the insides of me. I still couldn't get over the fact that I was fortunate enough, and what a blessing to be able to jump on this ship. And so hopefully a life of more Westerns in the future, because I'll rope them in if I can get them.
All right. We always got the fan favorite question. Everybody wants to know, when you're kicked back at the house, now that you're in Fort Worth, you're going to have to fire up your grill, this summer and cook something. What are you throwing down on that grill?
Woo! I love to grill, man. I'll tell you that. I've got my Weber. I've got out there that in fact, I grilled burgers last night. It was cold. I was standing out there. I didn't care. So I've always got burgers going and steaks going, and I'll throw on asparagus on there and the vegetables. But yeah, you'll always see my grill going, and really enjoy my Weber. But I've also been looking to get a smoker because I've been wanting to get more into smoking. I don't have one right now, and of course they make it so easy these days with the Traegers and everything else out there. But I'm learning to. I want to learn to get better with a smoker and hopefully purchase one here soon. So lots of grilling, lots of red meats, lots of vegetables. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. Just kind of, put on a little country music and get out there, and kind of my Zen time, if you will, kind of, my moments I get to kind of decompress and then, maybe enjoy a cold one while I'm doing it.
All right. Well, Eric Nelsen, I appreciate you visiting with us today, and let us know a little bit about what you got going on and what you're up to, and we'll look forward to catching you on some future projects.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much for having me. It was a pleasure, and hopefully we can do this again sometime when I'm talking about the next one.
All right. Thank you.